Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into the life of a man who completely redefined what it means to build an empire, literally from the ground up.
So picture this. It's 1932. Dhirubhai Ambani is born, not into some wealthy, powerful family, but to a school teacher in a tiny village in India. His beginnings were about as humble as they get, with extremely limited opportunities.
And yet, fast forward to today, and the legacy he built? It's valued at over $90 billion, carried on by his son, making their family one of the wealthiest on the entire planet. So, how on earth does that happen? How do you go from nothing to that? Well, this isn't just a story about money, it's really a story about a certain mindset, a powerful vision, and a few moves that were absolute game changers. Okay, let's get into it.
So, the story really starts with this spark, this ambition that was way too big to be contained by his small village.
There's this classic story about him as a kid. He sees these huge crowds at a local temple festival, and what does he do? He decides to sell snacks to them. Now, it's a small thing, right? But it tells you everything you need to know about his mind. Always looking, always observing, always seeing an opportunity where other people just saw a crowd.
See, he understood something fundamental. If you stay in the same place, you stay the same person. So he made this incredibly bold choice to just leave his ordinary world behind.
And his first big move? He leaves India for a simple job in Yemen. Think about that for a second. At a young age, with zero guarantee of success. But this trip wasn't really about the job. It was about his real education.
Because while he was working at this trading company, he wasn't just punching a clock. He was a sponge, just absorbing everything. He was learning how business actually works, how money really moves around the world. He saw firsthand how trade, not just a salary, is what creates real profit. And maybe most importantly, he learned how to take calculated risks. So when he finally returned to India, he wasn't a rich man, not yet. But he came back with something way more valuable, a vision.
So he's back in India, and he starts small, a little trading company called Reliance Commercial Corporation. But there was one huge problem that every entrepreneur faces: money. He needed capital to grow, and the way he decided to get it, well, it was a move that shocked everyone. See, back then, the path was clear. If you needed money for your business, you went to the banks, you went to wealthy investors, you went to the elite. But Dhirubhai? He decided to bet on a completely different group of people, the common folk.
He basically went to the public and said, "Become a part of my company." He took Reliance public, inviting thousands of regular, small-time investors to buy shares. This wasn't just about selling stock. He was starting a movement. He made investing, something that seemed complicated and out of reach, feel simple and accessible to everyday people.
And it was a massive risk, you know? Public investing just wasn't a big thing then. But people trusted him. They trusted his vision. And what he did so cleverly was tie the company's success directly to theirs. If the company did well, they did well. Reliance became known as the people's company. As they grew, he grew.
Okay, so now he has the public's investment and he has their trust. He's got the fuel he needs to build something huge. So let's look at how he put that capital to work. He starts expanding from textiles into the massive petrochemical industry. But here's where his real genius kicks in. It wasn't just what he was building, but how he connected all the pieces.
His strategy was brilliant in its simplicity. Instead of buying raw materials from other companies, he thought, why don't we just produce them ourselves? So that's what he did. Step 1. Produce the raw materials. Step 2. Use those materials to manufacture textiles and petrochemicals. And Step 3. Control the entire supply chain from start to finish. The result? Step 4. He could slash his costs and totally dominate the market. It was a masterstroke.
Dhirubhai Ambani passed away back in 2002, but his story is it's a masterclass in business for sure, but also in mindset. So what are the big lessons we can pull from this?
All right, lesson number 1 is huge. Start before you're ready. Ambani didn't sit around waiting for the perfect moment or for a big pile of cash or for some guarantee of success. He got it. He understood that you're never going to feel 100% ready. You have to take action, because action is what creates clarity and builds momentum.
Lesson 2, your environment shapes you. Man, this is so important. He knew that to really change his life, he had to change his surroundings first. That's why he left his village for Yemen. It's a perfect example of that old saying, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your environment.
And lesson number 3,
Discipline over motivation. Look, motivation is great, but it comes and goes, right? It's discipline that builds empires. He showed up every single day, especially the hard days, and that's what creates unstoppable growth. Discipline is what you do when the motivation just isn't there.
And the final lesson, maybe the most important one, you have to believe in yourself when no one else does. Think about it. When he suggested taking his company to the public, the entire financial establishment thought he was crazy. They didn't believe it could work. But here's the thing. Before the world can believe in you, you have to have this unshakable belief in yourself first. That self-belief is the engine for everything.
Dhirubhai's journey is just incredible proof that where you start in life, it doesn't have to define where you end up. Your mindset and the decisions you make along the way, that's what matters. So the question is, will your story be one of excuses or one of unstoppable growth?